What's up, Kiran? How you doing, man?
Good.
Welcome back. Now, we got a special guest, guys. Debbie is here with us. Now, this is really amazing for the two of us because the reason you and I are even friends is because of her,
Debbie.
right? You brought us together.
Correct.
How long ago was it? Been a couple of years?
Couple of years.
Couple of years for a
More than-
mastermind. Yeah, more than a couple of years.
I went to Mexico, remember?
That's right.
So that's before Mexico.
Before Mexico.
2000.
So Debbie is the ultimate walking encyclopedia of so many things. She worked with me first when we first opened the brokerage. She organized my the entire process on how to manage keys.
Oh, is that right?
It might sound very simple,
Right.
but we were doing property management. We had so many keys coming in, and office was a mess. And Debbie found a simple solution, and till today we still use the same solution.
I love that.
And then she did masterminding, wherein we exchanged ideas and all that. So I have a lot of respect for Debbie for bringing the resources for us to consider. And just before this interview, we talked about so many opportunities in syndication, and she does multifamily. She has experience in wholesaling. Now she is also following her passion of DJing.
With music,
so,
right? Yeah.
with music, everything. So she's like a walking Wikipedia.
Well,
Debbie.
having somebody like her as a friend is really interesting because we've talked about this before where everybody's got friends who always have ideas but never do anything with them. She's the type of friend where she's got a lot of ideas but she's doing stuff with them, and that gives us energy and injects ideas and puts gasoline on some of the ideas that we're kind of maybe simmering with a little bit. And it's fantastic having somebody who is actually putting action behind their.
And then she actually brings in everybody. If there is an opportunity, she calls and she says, "Oh, this is an opportunity. Would you be interested?" Even though she has no financial gain from it, she still tries to connect people. I think that is the fundamental role of any human being, is to help any human being, right? But in this day and age, it's very difficult for people. People are scarce with time, resources, and they are jealous, whatever the feeling. But we have somebody like Debbie who brings people for the mastermind, and she has brought some opportunities to our table, fully knowing that she might not gain financially out of it.
Right.
So Debbie, welcome to the show.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, thank you for
That's
having
a big
me.
intro.
That's
Yeah, it is.
a lot of, good thing.
Well, you tell us a little bit about what you've got going on right now, business-wise and a little personal too.
Okay, so I've been in real estate since 2006. That's just, years ago, before I met Kiran. And I moved here from California in 2009, so I met Kiran graciously. Yeah, I was able to work for him and then still follow my passion of real estate. And been in traditional side for so many years. And finally, I thought, I gotta find something that I can scale up my business. So I've been always wanting to do multifamily, and finally I have the opportunity to jump into this space last year. Since
Congratulations.
last year, so focus.
Yeah.
That's great.
And then,
Multifamily syndication. Actually, Phoenix is #1 in the entire country for multifamily acquisitions.
Is it really?
There is so much of interest in investors throughout the world, not just US. People from Canada, Asia, quite a few.
Right.
They have so much of interest in syndication of multifamily homes, multifamily apartment complexes. So you are at the perfect place at the perfect
epicenter.
time. You're at the epicenter of the opportunity.
I mean, even Grant Cardone has an office here in Scottsdale already,
yeah.
so he must have seen something.
It used to be Florida before, and now he has an office.
Right.
So just to summarize, right? Let's talk about inflation one-on-one.
Okay,
that would lead into syndication.
right. Let's
So
do it.
inflation 101. Let's say you found a $10 bill in your old pocket,
$10
pant,
in my pocket,
right?
okay, all
Right.
right.
So you find it after 3 years. So that $10 bill, when it was originally placed in your pants, would have bought you a Chipotle burrito, then chips and drink.
Right, you got the whole meal.
The whole meal.
The
and,
combo.
and probably some change coming back to you, right?
Right.
But now in 2022, the same $10 bill, probably you might have to cut off the drink and and chips, you probably just get a burrito
Right.
with some extra meat. That's it. So that is what is inflation is. The money, if it stays in your bank, it has less purchasing power.
Correct.
Right?
Right.
So the same amount of money, if you have it sitting in your checking account or savings account, is going to lose value. So that's where investment opportunities come about. People investing in, let's say, multifamily or even real estate or stocks or whatever it is. It's so important for people to invest. People always have this bad opinion that, oh, I don't have money to invest. Even though they might have it, they have to carve out whatever they are earning after spending all the money on their expenses. They have to have some remaining to invest.
Right.
So that's where the different investment opportunities come. So how is syndication works? Can you tell the audience about how the syndication works?
Syndication basically is just pull investor together, and then each one of them can have small amount, and then we go out and buy larger property.
Right.
And then turnaround time is about hold time's about sometimes can be 5 to 7 years, but sometimes at year 2 or 3 we can maybe cash out refi and pull the money out and then return to the investor for their original initial investment, and then just cash flow for the 2-3 years, and then we get the property sold and then return the money.
Gotcha. So are you taking these? Are you creating notes that you're selling on the secondary market, or when you're refinancing them?
No, we create an LLC and then just as an entity.
Yeah.
To buy, and then when we sold, it's just sold as an entity.
Okay.
So at a very high level, if I have to summarize the syndication in very simple terms, let's say we have a property wherein we have to put $1 million down to acquire the property. Let's say the property is $4 million, right?
Okay.
So most of the banks need 25% down. So you need $1 million down for that. So to generate $1 million, you can ask 100,000 from 10 people to invest in this company to go buy this property.
Right.
The way it is done normally is first step is Debbie is going to identify the asset. Okay,
Right.
there is this property in Phoenix that's $4 million. We need $1 million down payment for that. As soon as Debbie identifies the property, she's going to make an offer on it and then invites people to invest in that asset. So people know she has a brochure that says, okay, this is the cash flow, this is the value, this is how much the rents are, this is how much you can improve the property. Typically, what Debbie does is, okay, she not only raises the $1 million down payment, she also raises some extra so that they can make improvements to the property. So these 10 people, 100,000 each, they invest into the LLC. They all become limited partners on the LLC, right?
Right.
So then she goes and acquires the property. Then the LLC owns the asset, right?
Right.
So this extra money that she has raised, they go repaint, change the granite countertops, blah blah blah.
Bring the value.
Immediately the value jumps from 4 million to, let's say, 6 million, because now she's able to increase the rents also. And luckily Phoenix is in a perfect market wherein she's able to increase the rents, and as soon as the rent is increased, the cap rate increases. Right. So with the cap rate increasing, then the lender is willing to let you do a cash out refinance. So the 6 million now, let's assume we have 6 million. Right. So Debbie is able to refinance it and pull the entire 1 million plus extra that she has back, and all the investors get paid off right away. Right,
right, absolutely.
But then they still own the asset.
Right.
And it cash flows. So it's a very simple way to do it. At the same time, somebody like Debbie who specializes in this is great, because there is a lot of coordination, right? First, you need to identify the property, then you need to identify, market it properly to the potential investors, then you need to identify the improvements that you want to make, then you actually implement the improvements, right? And then the full cycle of it is you refinance it and then pull the cash out and then pay off the investors, make sure they are happy, and those investors keep coming back to Debbie over and over again.
Yeah.
That cycle is continuous. I've seen people make a lot of people wealthy with this syndication.
Well, and let's talk about the inflation protection, right? So explain to people who aren't familiar with this, like how doing a deal like this can protect against inflation with your money.
Yeah, I mean, my take of it is you're investing. At any point of time, the values could go up or down,
Right.
right? So anything
But it's
is
not. But it's not stagnant. That's the key thing, right? Because the opportunity for the upside is what could provide you some inflation protection. Because if it's outpacing the inflationary rate for the U.S. at that
100%,
time,
yeah.
then you're going to be in the positive versus just having it in a savings account, sitting there doing nothing essentially.
Exactly. I mean, not only just the inflation protection of the asset appreciation. We are also talking people who are able to invest, let's say 100,000 or anything, right? They probably have the tax problem also, wherein they are paying a lot of tax. So once you own this asset, you buy a $4 million property. Now you're able to depreciate it, right? So you depreciate it for commercial. I think, I don't know if it's 27 or 39 years, but you depreciate it. So every year you can get to deduct the income. If you're making 100,000 at Intel and you're able to invest this 100,000 here, there your taxable income goes down because you're able to get the benefit of depreciation.
Yep. With the cost segregation, you can definitely.
With the cost segregation, of course.
Right.
So that's a great way to do it. So
what are some benefits to an investor to do something like this versus maybe like traditional single-family homes, something like that? What would be a difference?
I think it's single family is just one.
Yeah.
But multifamily, we're talking about 50, 100 units. So the volume is larger. And then you're actually buying larger property, and then the return definitely is higher too. So we're looking at like 5 to 7 year hold time. You possibly can get your money back 2 times. Let's say you invest 100 grand, you will get another 100 grand. So total 200 grand.
Right.
So comparing to single family, possibly if you do a flipping, maybe, but that's a lot of work, right, on your side. But if you're doing syndication as a limited partner, you don't do nothing. You basically invest with us. We, as general partner, we go out and do all the work for you. So that's a different thing.
yeah, I mean, there is other takes to it, right? See, most of the people investing, they have to be accredited investors. So that means that net worth has to be over a threshold. I think the definition is changing right now. I think they have to be, their net worth has to be minimum 3 million. Is a million?
Accredited investor,
3 million, right?
Minimum million.
Million, yes.
But they're
million?
changing the rules on it, so we have to check on it. So first is you have to be an accredited investor to go into any of these syndications now. They're making it tougher, right?
So what's that process? So let's imagine that we've got somebody out there who is in a situation where they've got that cash flow, but they're not an accredited investor. What is that process for them to do that?
The process, based on what I gathered, is they have to fill a financial statement to
Pretty
prove
simple.
that.
Okay.
Yeah, to prove that their net worth is more than $1 million.
So it's not a lot of hoops to jump with. It's pretty simple.
No,
You can
right.
easily do it.
Right.
Okay.
So coming back to your question on what's the benefit of single family homes versus multifamily, right? There is lot of logistics also, not just the investment. I mean, investment, both are real estate. From outside, both of them are real estate, but it's different property type. For single family homes, usually the lending guidelines are tighter, in the sense that the Fannie Freddie Mac guidelines is what it falls into, wherein you have to put 20% minimum down, and then so you have to have a renter, and then you manage it individually, right?
Okay, yeah.
So you can give it to a property manager and let them handle it, but still you are pretty much babysitting that asset. Versus syndication, you have financing is not based off of the partner's credit. Financing is mainly based off of the cap rate, in the sense that how much the asset is cash flowing. So for people who have bad credit, this might be a good opportunity for them to jump in and invest, wherein their personal credit is not being impacted by this.
Oh, that's fantastic.
And then there is also the limits, like single family homes, maximum you can buy is 10 homes.
Right.
To get financing.
Yeah.
After 10 homes, it gets difficult to get financing based on the Fannie Mae Freddie Mac guidelines, right? With syndication, it's not on your credit, so you can participate in like 200 syndications. You can part in number of syndications without it hitting your credit.
Right.
So it's terrific if you're planning to buy a primary home and you want your credit to not show this debt on your personal profile. This is the route to go. You invest 100,000 here, and then with opportunity wherein you can cash out after a few years. So the syndication is a good opportunity for people who want to delve into real estate without impacting their credit score, because you'll be participating as a partner. It's like a limited partnership to the entity.
So if you have bad credit, this is still an opportunity, but you have some money aside, maybe you can't get into some other aspects of finance or investing, this would be an option for you because it doesn't have anything to do with your personal credit whatsoever, as long as you have the funds to put up to participate.
So obviously, just like any financial instrument, there is no guarantees on the returns and all that, right? You will be signing the disclosure saying nobody can guarantee it. But essentially what you're doing is you will be buying into an entity which is going to go buy a apartment complex. And typically the apartment complex profile is what you'll know what the money is going into. And then periodically you'll see the entire financial performance of the asset. You'll see all the rents collected, all the expenses. So you'll be able to see the performance, and you'll see that you can refinance and get your money back after a period of time. Granted, if the market cooperates, it will be sooner. If the market doesn't perform as well, it could be longer. But still, it's a terrific opportunity.
Yeah, sometimes the full circle cycle can be less than 2 years. I've seen that.
Yeah.
For the past 2 years, the market is like skyrocket.
Okay, well, Debbie, let's talk about range of investment, right? So obviously, investors with a lot of money or a sizable amount, it's preferable. You can get bigger product or properties, things like that. But what is the minimum that you think somebody could participate in? If somebody's watching, they're like, this sounds interesting to me, I've never done it, got a little bit of money in the bank account.
It varies, but minimum is about 50 grand.
Okay.
And earlier we talked about accredited investor, that's 506C, but there's also properties that we accept 506B, meaning sophisticated investor, that can also participate. They don't have to be accredited. So meaning we don't check their net worth and all that. And but sophisticated investor meaning I have to have relationship with you prior. I can't just go to you and hey Shane, give me 50 grand.
Gotcha. Yeah, absolutely.
So that's why my job right now is to create relationship with potential investor right now.
So this multifamily buying opportunities is something that's really has attracted so many investors, especially when they saw that they've been getting priced out of the single family, and also the fact that the cash flow is not as higher, and it's very difficult to do a cash out refi, especially when you have a lower mortgage already. You're at 2s, now you don't want to cash out and lose the 2%. So coming back to this multifamily investment has been the latest trend in real estate investment. So I have slightly done a few office complex investments also, wherein it can be also syndicated, similar to multifamily. I know there is a lot of investors doing multifamily right now, but I've also found that doing the same for office complexes is extremely profitable, and we've been involved in a couple of projects here in Chandler, which really is a great return. What we want to leave this episode is for the audience to really reanalyze your financial situation and think about if you have excess cash from what you're earning. Let's say you're earning 10,000 a month, and if your expenses are 5,000, strategic on where you're going to put the extra $5,000. Is it just sitting in your savings account? How long is it sitting in your savings account? Are you exploring stocks? Are you exploring bonds? Are you exploring real estate investments? Syndication is a terrific vehicle that you can consider. There is so many ways to invest. The biggest cost of loss is you not exploring the options. You exploring an option, investing and failing is one thing, because still you get the experience and the knowledge of it, but not doing anything and just waiting for the inflation to eat away the value of your hard-earned money is the worst thing. Don't you guys agree?
Absolutely. Yeah.
So with that, we can conclude this episode, encouraging you guys to reach out to Debbie or you can reach out to us, and then we can talk about your different opportunities out in the marketplace.
Gotcha. You know what? And I'll leave I got a quick tag. So if you're not at this level yet and you're like even more of a basic investor, there's an event that we're going to be hosting, and it's for people that have never even opened up a stock brokerage account online, and we're going to walk you through that. I've got a friend of mine who is a broker, and she's going to walk us through that process, and I'll have details and a link in the description with that info.
That's great.
Cool.
All right. Thank
Cool.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good one. Take care.